contemplating which aircraft I want to fly. Well, knowing how the weather is right now here in the Northeast, Right. I was toying with the idea of pulling out the Junkers Ju-52. I haven't flown that in a long time. Thanks for coming in today, everybody. It is indeed my 32nd birthday. I feel old. I feel very old. All my body parts hurt. Everything hurts. It's great. Thanks for coming in today. Welcome to the stream. This is my birthday bash. Mike's birthday bash. Virtue Safe Flying Club event. Getting underway. In just about 19 minutes, I'm going to be doing the briefing. Right before I do the briefing, I'm going to do a quick little Bayport video here in just a second as we get closer to the briefing. But I do want to say hello and welcome to Nick Gresla. Hello to I should say Sim, Mr. Egan. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys will be flying along with us this evening from Bayport to Stewart. That is the plan of attack tonight. Wrong button. There we go. Stream's definitely not ending yet. I hit the wrong button there on my stream deck. Ignore the pink and the red, because we are going to be manually setting sim weather to VFR. The only thing we will be doing is the wind will be 140 at 5 knots, and the altimeter 3036. And I mean, the wind is calm, and the altimeter is not much different at Stewart, so we're just going to keep that same kind of weather, and we're going to set clear skies because, well, that's just the way that it is working out right now. So you see all the pink and red, you can ignore that. We're going to use the real wind, the real pressure, the real temperature, but we are not going to use the real ceiling and the real visibility and the real conditions, because right now at Islip it is 1/8 of a mile with light rain and mist and overcast 200. So yeah, we definitely wouldn't be able to do this flight. So we are taking some liberties with that tonight on the VATSIM network. Our good friends over at NYARTCC are more than aware of the situation. We're going to take off here out of the Bayport Aerodrome. It's going to be a 1-8 departure, which is the easiest one. It's just straight out to the shoreline below 700 feet. Once we get to the inner shoreline, we can then climb if we want to. I'm probably only going to go to about 1,000 feet, follow the Long Island shore all the way till we get towards Kennedy here. We'll go below 500 feet. We'll talk to Kennedy Tower or whoever ATC we got, and we'll go south shoreline out of below 500. We'll come up here. We'll find the Verrazano Bridge, the VZ Bridge. We'll fly on up along the east side of the Hudson going northbound. with the Skyline route, so that'll be with ATC, so we will not need to make any of the reporting points because we will be with ATC. At that point, once we get up clear of the Alpine Towers, we'll get handed off to the Catskills sector. They'll give us flight following the rest of the way in, and we'll finish our trip up to the Stewart Newberg
Happy birthday,
International Airport. Thank you, thank you. So that is the plan of attack for this evening. For the club event, I'm going to be doing a briefing in about 15 minutes time to the flying club, so you guys will end up hearing everything I just said pretty much all over again, but I figured I'd give you that quick little quick preview. So we're just gonna go ahead and roll right into this. I'm gonna have you guys watch this little video about the history of the Bayport Aerodrome while I continue to work on getting things set up.
While Rocky Moore, Mr. Blue Point, was selling Sherwin-Williams paint, another Blue Point resident was putting Bayport on the map. Jim Davis, a local house mover, bought a big tract of land that was to become later known as the Bayport Aerodrome.
The fiance's got to work tomorrow, so I already had dinner and my cake with her, and she's got work tomorrow, and she's not feeling all the best tonight, so I think she's okay with me doing the flight sim stuff now. You can tell this video was made about 16 years ago by the quality of the video. Melvin Leroy, 46 months.
I'm double happy today.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thanks for
original
coming today.
airfield was my father, who was Kurt Davis. He took this land from his father, who used to grow corn here. And my father got into flying in the early 40s, and he decided he wanted his own strip close to home. So that's how it started. Well, when we started out, he called it Davis Field, and he named it after himself, of course, and he had a lot of work ahead of him.
In the early days of aviation, most airports were called aerodromes, and the idea was that they were just wide open grass spaces, and the aerodrome was either circular in nature or square.
It was in the early 40s that we started building the airfield and so on, and it made it a little bit easier because it was corn here before for the central strip. But my brother and I used to, this is where we learned how to drive and so on, because we had an old 39 Chevrolet that we'd go around and pick up all the stumps and when they were clearing the land and bring them down and throw them in the big hole in the back here, and it was, we had a good time.
Back before the war, was at some point sold to the Edwards family, but they had 3 hangars down at the other end of the field, which were actually, we have 1 runway now, but they actually were in the center of 2 cross runways. The story is that all 3 hangars came from Roosevelt Field. The local folklore is that actually one of the hangars that was here actually housed the Spirit of St. Louis. There is no verification of that whatsoever, but it's a great local story.
Well, in the beginning, we had the building behind me, was the first hangar that was put up. And then, you know, as the years went on, probably a couple of years later, then we built 2 or 3, not me really, but my father built 2 or 3 other buildings over here, one for himself, and one for Chilo Bianchi, and the other one, I guess, was for anybody who wanted to keep their plane here.
If you've seen our logo, you'll see a tower that's on the logo. That's actually I believe it was an observation tower that was down on Fire Island It was brought here by and I don't know whether it was the Davis family, the Edwards family that brought it over here, but that was actually the pseudo
Tell you what, I'm
control
very
tower, if you
fascinated
want
with
to
the
call
weather.
it.
It's
Being
not
that we
often
didn't have
where
it
I
wasn't a
see
controlled
crazy
field, but
rainy
they kind of
condition.
was the point of going up and watching the airplanes.
And then we put up a Coast Guard tower that we brought over from Fire Island. It was a control tower we put up by the 3 buildings, which isn't here anymore, of course. And it was becoming quite an airfield.
The earliest airplane we have here is a replica of a 1911 Blériot.
It was a French design. It was the first airplane to fly across the English Channel. This was made, however, here in the United States. It's of particular interest because it actually flew the first airmail in the United States. What is really very interesting about it, it went all the way from Garden City to Mineola. Actually, the man took off, and rather than landing, he dropped a sack of mail out of the airplane.
We do have some famous old planes here. One was a Curtiss Robin that established at one time an endurance record of a number of days in the air. They actually refueled and lubricated the engine while it was in flight. It stayed up at quite a few days, and the fellows were flying it, and they were eating, doing what they had to do in the air for that number of days. That plane is still here.
They refueled this airplane by driving down the highway, and a platform was built onto the side of the airplane. The pilot would fly the airplane, and his mechanic would go out on the platform, lower down a rope, hoist up gas cans as they were flying down the highway, and refuel the airplane in flight, and that's how they established this endurance record.
And about 1946, I guess it was, somewhere around in there, they had this big party up here. And they called it a donkey roast. And they had a lot of pilots flying around doing, you know, exhibitions, and they had, it was a huge crowd here. And one plane, they were playing the part where somebody ran out and jumped in the plane, was stealing the plane like, and he took off, but unfortunately he crashed. He didn't get hurt, but he survived, but it was quite amusing for the whole crowd anyway.
As far as this airdrome, everything you see, all the flights you see, the flying and everything, it's all volunteer.
The purpose of the society is to further interest in aviation amongst the younger people. We find that a lot of the youngsters don't know very much about our early history or the early history of airplanes in general. So we want to try and foster that and gather their interest, because we're getting to be a bunch of old guys here. We want
This
somebody
video
to
is
follow
16
us.
years old.
And we want to keep the old airplanes, the old antique airplanes flying.
There's actually a lot of those airplanes that
Well,
don't
to
exist
build
there
this
anymore.
field today would probably take you about 10 years to get permits, and if you could ever get them, and you'd probably die
Actually, this
before
video
you
was
ever
posted
got
to YouTube
anything
60
done.
years ago. It's probably even older
Compared
than
to
that,
years
to be honest.
ago, but if you owned the land, you could almost do whatever you wanted. You know, as a cornfield, you turn it into an airfield, which was very nice, but I wouldn't want to try it today.
It's a real gem, it's a real jewel, and it's a real asset, we believe, to the town of Bayport. And we would like to keep it that way.
And they have kept it that way, because I just went to the most recent Bayport fly-in this past August. I believe it was the 60th? I think it was the 60th annual. That just happened this past year. I went with our good buddy Slant Alpha Adventures was there. He came all the way up to be there, and a few other of my Virtually Safe Flying Club friends were there as well. So that was a really great experience this past August, and looking forward to hopefully being able to go back again this coming, 2024, which I guess would be the 61st annual Bayport fly-in. So that video, like I said, old video, and yeah, Bayport's still alive and kicking. It was pretty crowded when we went to that the 60th anniversary one just this past August. They ended up running out of food actually because they had more people that came to it than they thought they would. It was a very well attended event, a lot of fun, a lot of cool airplanes to see. Just a great day overall. We got perfect weather for it too. So yeah, Bayport Real World is alive and kicking. And we are going to be taking off out of the Bayport Aerodrome in the sim this evening. This rendition of the Bayport Aerodrome on Microsoft Flight Sim, courtesy of Virtuous Safe Flying Club member Johnny Hayes. It is on the Flight Sim 2 store. If you're a Flying Club member watching the stream, you should already have this downloaded. If you're a Microsoft Flight Sim, there's also an X-Plane 11, X-Plane 12 version that you should have downloaded, ready to go to fly this evening if you're going to be doing the event. So hopefully everyone's ready to go on that. But you can see very nice rendition. You can see these are the old hangars out over here. We got a few of our Flying Club buddies are already getting nice and set up and ready to go. And we'll go ahead and zoom on out, give you a nice overview, of the field, the Bayport Aerodrome. Again, Real World, obviously it's nighttime, can't fly in Bayport at nighttime, no lights. Real World, the weather is absolutely atrocious, so we have manually set the sim to VFR conditions. The wind, the altimeter, the temperature are all Real World. The ceilings and the conditions are obviously not, because it is definitely not a sunny VFR day in the Northeast. It's all below IFR pretty much. It's quite a horrible day, horrible evening if you will, up in this area. But for the purposes of the event, it's sunny. So if your immersion is ruined, I don't know if I care. I'm sorry. That's just the way that it is. That's how it's going to be today, chat. That's just how it's going to be. I'm actually going to open up my little VFR box here off the screen because I want to see, start getting a count of how many Flying Club members end up on the ground. Right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Flying Club members on the ground so far. I'm expecting a pretty decent turnout. I'm hoping for at least 20 pilots flying. We're going to have a pretty large amount of NYARTCC controllers that are good friends of mine and also part of the Flying Club signing on to control positions so that we will have full ATC coverage from start to finish in terms of flight following once we get out of Bayport, all through the Skyline route and up to the Stuart Newburgh International Airport. Dun, 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 dun. Give me 1 second, chat. Excuse me. Right, we got a briefing coming up soon here, chat. We got a briefing coming up here soon, about 3 minutes. Virtuous Safe Flying Club briefing. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready to go. I'm going to be ignoring the chat here for a few minutes while I go through this briefing. So bear with me, chat. I'm going to be ignoring you guys. Jeffrey, thank you again for the resubscription. 19 months, I appreciate it. Melvin Leroy, 46 months. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So let me focus in now because there is a little bit that I have to talk about to the club with this briefing, and I'm going to be starting that briefing here momentarily. So bear with me. I'm not ignoring you intentionally. I just got to get some stuff done for the club. Got about 2 minutes till we start the briefing here, everybody. Hopefully everyone starts to file on in. See, what, 16 in here? I was hoping for a little bit more. We'll see if some more people start floating on in here soon.
How are we doing, guys?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good.
Happy birthday, Mike. How about a mic check?
Thank you very much. Loud and clear. Let's see. Who else is going to be filing on in? Hoping for a few more. Hoping we have at least 20 pilots, but let's see what we get. I have a pretty good amount of NYARTCC controllers staffing up for us tonight. Help give us some flight following. I'll have to talk about that in just a second.
You're too kind, considering me as one pilot.
Alright, it is 7:30 on the East Coast, so I'm going to jump right on into it, guys. Thanks for coming in today. Thank you for helping me to celebrate my 32nd birthday this evening. Sarah does have to work tomorrow, so we already did all of our dinner and everything before, so hopefully no one thinks I'm like ignoring her on my birthday. She's in the room resting. She's got work tomorrow, so this is why I was able to plan and have this event this evening. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I am going to be giving away a gift card at some point tonight. Once the event kind of concludes, I don't know what time that's going to be. It depends on when everyone kind of files in. But both anyone that's a flying club member, so whether you're flying or for our NYA or TCC friends that are in here that will be controlling for us, they're going to be eligible as well for the gift. So that will be a $25 Amazon gift card. So that will be what you guys have up for grabs tonight for participating, so I appreciate you being here. In terms of the actual event itself, did everyone watch, or in some cases rewatch, the approach and departure out of Bayport Aerodrome video that was the required learning before tonight's event? If you are flying out, because you do need to know how to appropriately depart runway 18 this evening at the Bayport Aerodrome is going to be the runway we're using. That one is really the easiest one. You simply just take off and fly out on the runway heading until you get to the inner shoreline. You do not go above 700 feet until you cross that inner shoreline. Once you cross that inner shoreline, then you can go above 700 feet. If you go above 700 feet before that inner shoreline, you will bust the ISO Class Charlie, and I can guarantee that whoever is controlling, I know exactly who is controlling ISLIP tonight, he will let me know which one of you bust the Class Charlie, so don't be that guy tonight. Below 700 feet until you get to that inner shoreline, and then you can climb as necessary. The idea, though, is that you're probably not going to need to climb very high. I'm thinking we're going to fly out, not only go past the inner shoreline, but then also keep flying out straight ahead pretty much to the outer shoreline, so that you're pretty much over the Atlantic Ocean on the South Shore of Long Island. Fly it westbound past Captree Bridge, past Long Beach, and you're going to get to the point for the South Shoreline of Kennedy. We're going to do at or below 500 feet South Shoreline of Kennedy, going westbound. Once we clear that, we're going to be instructed, since we are going to have flight following the whole way, and since we're all going to be requesting the Skyline route, so not the exclusion zone tonight, we will be requesting the Skyline route with ATC. You'll be told most likely to climb either to 1,500 feet or 2,000 feet, depending on what the controller assigns you. So you'll fly out to the Verrazano Bridge, you'll go to the altitude that you are assigned, you'll have flight following as you do the Skyline route. You want to stay towards the east side of the Hudson River going northbound. That is the appropriate way to do it. Do not accidentally cross over the edge of the river, because then you will be deeper into Class Bravo airspace than they want you to be, and you got the risk of potentially running into a tall building over in New York City, and we don't want to do that either. So make sure you're on the east side of the river going north, but do not cross over the actual shoreline of the river. Once we come out of the Skyline, we'll fly up past the Tappan Zee, continue and follow the Hudson River. We'll make sure to avoid the restricted area 5206. I'm sure it's cold at this point, especially at this point in the evening, but we're just going to pretend that it's not cold. So we're going to do our best to avoid, that's West Point over there. So try not to fly directly over West Point. The restricted area 5206 will avoid that. And if you stay over the river, you will avoid that. Go up and fly towards the Newburgh Beacon Bridge, and we'll eventually talk to Stewart Tower, and he'll guide us in to, I don't know which runway they're going to use because the wind is calm, so I guess that'll kind of be a little bit of a surprise for whoever ends up controlling Stewart Tower for us, or whoever is controlling Stewart in general at that point if we don't have a specific tower. Now the big thing with the event tonight, if you actually were to look at Sky Vector, you'd notice a lot of pink and a lot of red, meaning low IFR and IFR. Obviously this is not the kind of flight that you could do IFR. So we are going to have to manually adjust the sim. As much as I hate doing it, it's my least favorite thing to do, and I hate how badly we've not been very lucky in recent memory with some of these events. But we're going to have to manually adjust the sim weather. The big thing for VATSIM is the temperature, the pressure, and the wind has to be the same. The reason why they want that to be the same is because they don't want us flying different wind, different temperature, different pressure, and then we're all at different altitudes off by like 50, 100 feet. You know, we're not having the appropriate ground speeds for everything like that. I'm just going to set a baseline. I set Microsoft Flight Sim to have wind of 140 at 7 knots, altimeter 3036, and a temperature of 6. And I'm going to keep that throughout the entirety of my flight. I'm not going to go in and manually change that the whole way. The conditions are not too dissimilar at Stewart as they are into Bayport, so I'm going to keep that the entire trip. If you're in the ballpark with that, that's fine. As long as you're in the ballpark, I don't expect perfection. Our NYARTCC friends are not going to expect perfection. They know exactly what's going on tonight, so we're not super duper worried about it, but try and be in that ballpark so at least we're somewhat complying with the code of conduct. Of course, as well, we also have our special authorization to do the real-world CTAF, so 122.7 is the CTAF frequency for Bayport, 122.7. If you have a COM2, please do monitor 122.8 on that COM2, but all the Flying Club members will be speaking on 122.7 to depart out of Bayport. Once we depart out of Bayport and get across that inner shoreline, we are going to tune up New York approach on 134.55 to pick up flight following, and we will get that flight following, including the Skyline route, all the way to Stewart, so that we give our ATC friends some work tonight. They are gracious enough to staff up, so I do want everyone to get that flight following from them this evening, please. In terms of the specifics, if you are flying a somewhat faster aircraft, I will ask that you depart towards the front of the line. So an aircraft that maybe has a cruise speed of like 140, 150 knots should be departing towards the front of the line. If you're cruising at about 120 to 140, you'll want to be towards the middle of the pack. If you're going to be less than 120 knots, which I actually am going to be flying the Cessna 170, so I'll be probably less than 120 knots tonight. I plan on lagging towards the end of the line tonight instead of my usual going first. So we'll have the faster aircraft go first. The mid-speed aircraft can go in the middle, and the slower aircraft will go in the back. I'll actually probably bring up the rear tonight. I think it's just to change it, just a little change of pace, change it up. We are going to try and separate each departure out of Bayport by at least a minute and a half. I'll be the one most likely timing that, so I'll say next one go, next one go. I prefer to do that in here and not on the frequency, so if everyone that is flying could please stay in this channel. You don't have to have your voice activated, but at least have your ears open so that I can kind of coordinate when the next departure is going to be down the line, so we can all have a decent amount of spacing going up to Stewart. But the flight plan should be pretty clear. If you read the briefing, departing out of Bayport should be pretty clear. If you followed the instruction video, setting the weather and all that is good. Remember that we do have the attendance channel. That's the Mike's Birthday Bash channel. If you're an air traffic controller tonight, you can put yourself in that channel now and list the position that you're controlling for the event tonight. You can go ahead and do that now. For the pilots, put your call sign and time of arrival in Zulu once you land in Stewart. Not prior, but when you land in Stewart, that's when I want you to put your call sign and time of arrival in there. And this is for two reasons. One, this is for attendance, obviously, but the second reason tonight, of course, is for that $25 gift card giveaway. So make sure you have that information in there so that we can get both proper attendance and get you ready to go for the giveaway tonight for the drawing that I'll do pretty much once the event comes to a conclusion. Trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, we're always abiding by the Virtue Safe Flying Club etiquette. I do want you to initially file the VFR flight plan. Now again, I know with the new CRC stuff and VNAS and all that, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that does matter is that it will make sure that the remarks are filled out so that everyone can still see that we are all the Virtually Safe Flying Club. It's a good way to advertise for the club. So I'd appreciate it if you still do file the VFR flight plan. It's not going to matter once our approach controller gets a hold of us. It's going to turn into a different type of flight plan. The big thing is it'll still have our remarks in there, and that's really what we're looking for, is having those remarks in the flight plan. So that's why I still ask that you file, at least initially, regardless of how the new system works. Hopefully everyone has the appropriate sceneries downloaded that were in the scenery list, especially for Bayport, so that way we're not all looking not all in different spots on the field. It should be the western strip that's open in both of the sceneries for Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. So we should all be perfectly aligned with that. Does anybody have any questions?
Mike, can we get your weather conditions again a little more slowly?
Sure. I personally have the wind set at 140 degrees at 6 knots, the temperature 6, and the altimeter 3036. As long as you're in the ballpark with that, that's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Ballpark with that, and I plan on keeping those conditions straight through the flight, not going to change it one bit.
Thank you.
Mother Nature.
140
Say again?
140 temperature 6 Celsius and 3036.
That's correct.
The CTAF is 22.7, you said?
That's correct. 122.7 is the frequency you should have tuned for the Bayport Aerodrome.
I got a question, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
I thought the route we were taking is the exclusion.
No, we are going to do the Skyline. That is with ATC. The idea is I wanted to do it with ATC the whole way through. So because it is the Skyline route going up the Hudson, you do not need to make any of the call-outs, and we're not going to be on the CTAF frequency. We'll be talking to ATC the whole way. They'll assign you either 1,500 feet or 2,000 feet for that northbound Skyline route, and again, you will not need to make any of the position reports.
Okay, that's what the difference is. Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, Mike. I see some of us are flying King Airs and Caravans. Usually those are at high cruise speeds, like almost close to 170. You want us to party in front of the
Yeah, I would like the faster aircraft to be at the front of the line, for sure. If you're flying something a little slower, like myself tonight, actually flying the rare occasion where I fly something slow and bring up the rear, I'll depart towards the end. But if you're flying like a King Air, yeah, I'm going to want you to be towards the front of the line.
Speed limit in the Skyline Road is 140.
That is correct. I don't know if there is a true speed limit for the Skyline. I know there is for the exclusion.
That's just for the CIFRA. Just for the exclusion.
So I think for the Skyline, you're good at any cruise speed. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going that fast because then you're going to miss all the sights, but that's just me. Are there any other questions? I can't hear you, Brian.
I have a request.
What's up?
When everybody calls me up for flight calling on 3455, call sign only, please. I'll figure out the rest.
Alright, so he is requesting then, instead of giving the full spiel tonight, that when we do the initial call to New York Approach, since we have already coordinated with them and they are in this briefing, that once we tune to 134.55, all you need to do is give your call sign.
Roger.
Does anybody...
Sorry. Will we need to request like the, South Shoreline transition or whatever?
Nope.
As well?
Since we have all of our friends in NYRTCC here, again, they are part of the briefing, so they know what we're doing. That's going to be Brian's job, essentially, with being that first point of contact, is he's going to be telling everyone down the line exactly what we're doing.
I mean, what's going to happen is the call sign, I'm going to get you a squawk, and then I'm going to come back and ask for aircraft type and request, and that's what you're going to request.
Okay.
I just don't want to have to ask 6 times for a plane every minute and a half. I'd rather have it all streamlined.
Alright, does everybody get that? I know Brian's coming in a little quiet, but did everyone copy that?
Yep.
Yep.
Affirm. Discord just doesn't like the microphone.
It's all good. Are there any other specific questions? If there's no other specific questions, faster aircraft towards the front, slower aircraft towards the rear, let's have some fun. on the Skyline route tonight. Let's see how many airplanes we got on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was hoping for 20, but 15 ain't bad. Let's get rolling. Again,
happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. Again, if you are doing the ATC side, you can put your position that you are controlling into the attendance channel now. And for the pilots, obviously, you do that after you land at Stewart. But if you are doing an ATC position, you can go ahead and put yourself in the attendance channel now. And if there are no other questions, have at it. Like I said, I'm going to be towards the end of the line. I don't think I'm actually going to call out the times. I'm going to trust you guys to wait 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes after the person in front of you departs before you depart. So I'm going to give you guys that... I'm going to keep my faith in you guys to be able to do that tonight. So when you see someone depart, give them 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes before you depart, so that way we can get ourselves nice and spaced out. So we'll do that just on the merit basis. I have faith in you guys. I always have. So there's no reason for me to call it out. That's all I got for you guys. Have fun. Alright, what do we got here? 757 Spy with the rate of 180 while I was finishing the Virtual USA Flying Club event briefing for tonight's event. I have to show the banner for tonight's event now since we have 180 people that just came over. I am celebrating my 32nd birthday tonight. This is my actual birthday, my 32nd birthday. My fiance she has work tomorrow, so we've already taken care of having dinner together and doing all that stuff. So there's a reason why I'm spending time with you guys and not her. I already spent the time with her. She's not mad at me. She's probably actually happy I'm doing this stuff so I can eat out of her hair for the rest of the night. So here's the event. It's my birthday bash. Virtual USA Flying Club. We're departing out of the Bayport Aerodrome, going up the New York City Skyline route with ATC to Stewart Airport. Stewart Airport being the airport closest to where I was born. That is a picture of me when I was, I don't remember if I was 4 or 5 years old. I think I was 4 years old when that picture was taken. I think that was my 4th birthday. So there you go. You got to see that. You know exactly what we're doing now. I am this guy right down here. My nice custom livery. I think it was Eric Lemaire, Eric Flight on Twitch that made this livery, custom livery for me. For the Cessna 170, that's what we'll be flying tonight. Out of Bayport up the Hudson over to Stewart. You'll notice, if you live in the Northeast, that the weather is not real. We have manually adjusted the sim to VFR conditions. The temperature, pressure, wind is set to real world. The ceiling, visibility, weather conditions are not, for obvious reasons. It is low IFR, and this would not have been possible, so we have taken some liberties. If you were around for most of the briefing, you'll know that NYARTCC was part of the briefing. We've coordinated the event with them. They know we're all flying VFR, even though the conditions most certainly are not VFR in the New York area tonight, so that's all been taken care of. So I apologize for the ruined immersion. It's just the way it's got to be. Pretend it's a nice sunny day, taking off out of Bayport. We'll go enjoy the New York City skyline and go land over at what used to be my home airport. So that's what we got going on for us tonight. PatDog35, thank you for the follow. Again, thank you so much for the raid, 757 Spy. I'm sorry I didn't greet you right off the bat. I was in the middle of that briefing. So everyone that came in, all the new chatters. November 8033 Fox, good to see you, Michael. I hope the sim room is coming along nicely. Jeffrey B, again, thank you. See, Rogue Wolf Gaming, Kenny Monster, Brandon Iron are in the chat. Dusty2203 is in the chat. Shatter Mage, Crying Gonglin, I have no idea how to say that one, but yes, it is my birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Arch NDA, good to see you, Arch. Happy to see you in the chat tonight as well. Wind pressure temperatures are good. So yeah, our immersion is a little bit ruined, but we are abiding by the VATSIM code of conduct. So what we are going to do is I'm going to get this thing started up. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm in the showcase camera, so I should probably get out of that. There we go. I am going to lag towards the end of the line. So I am going to get the airplane started just so we can listen to the comms of everyone else departing out of Bayport. But then we are probably going to wait till about the end of the line to take off ourselves, since we're going to be flying one of the slower aircraft this evening for this event. And then we'll go and proceed up the Hudson. So let me go ahead and fire this thing up. We're going to go ahead and get the mixture full rich. We're going to There's not much else to this thing, really. We'll get the batteries on. We'll get the avionics on.
Bayport traffic, Sears 4 Kilo Romeo, taking off runway 18 straight out.
Nav
Bayport
lights
traffic.
on. We'll clear to the left. We'll clear to the right. We will clear prop.
Bayport, you the cop. Can I get a radio check?
Loud and clear. Again, we are on 122.7 for Bayport Aerodrome. That is the real world CTAF. Again, for those that are new to the stream, the Virtual USA Flying Club has a special waiver from VAT USA to use real world CTAFs at uncontrolled fields during Virtual USA Flying Club events.
That was Discord.
As long as they're within the realm of VAT USA. So we have that special waiver. We are making full use of it tonight using the real world CTAF of 122.7 here at the Bayport Aerodrome. It's a beautiful thing. I'm glad I got that waiver. Hopefully all of VATSIM will eventually get to being able to allow us to use those real world CTAF at the controlled fields. They say it's coming. They've been saying it's coming. Who knows when it's actually coming? I'm glad we have the waiver, at least for the Flying Club, to do it for our events inside the realm of VAT USA. So that's why you'll notice that my frequency down here says 22.7 and not 22.8, because we have that special waiver to do so from VAT USA. Iowa Scotsman, thank you, welcome. Thanks for coming in today. So we've got the airplane nice and running. I probably should have put a little bit more gas in it than I have, so I'm actually going to cheatsy doodle a little bit, throw a little bit more gasolina in it, just say I won't run out while I'm waiting for everyone else to depart. I'm going to go back into the fun little showcase cam here now, and we're going to watch some of the Virtual USA Flying Club members depart off of runway 18 out to the South Shore, Long Island. So I was hoping for about 20 pilots at least flying this tonight. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So a little bit on the short side compared to what I was hoping for in terms of the number of pilots we'd have flying it. But so it goes. It is a Wednesday night during the middle of winter, school year. Everyone's got work. I know there was a large handful of people that were messaging me in the Flying Club tonight that said they weren't going to be able to make it for one reason or the other. That happens. So racing team meeting attendance was keeping me from, yeah, so there's just there's things here and there. I know there's also 7:30 is still a little bit of an early start time for a handful of the club members as well, whether they're the West Coasters or there's a lot of the fathers in the Virtual USA Flying Club that say that they're still putting the kids to bed or doing other things like that. So understandable, but we'll see how it plays out. I was hoping for a few more handful of aircraft. I'm sure there's actually still a few more that are probably on the way. I know there's going to be some maybe that are coming in a bit late. So that is Upstate Official. Thank you for the raid, Upstate Official.
Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly away.
Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the raid. B4, I should say Bad Attitude, I believe is what that username is. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Upstate Official. That is a hell of a name. It's a hell of a Twitch name. So thank you for that raid. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Eric WC 300 600, thank you as well for the follow. I appreciate it. Again, we're just right now watching some of our fellow Virtual USA Flying Club members depart here out of the Bayport Aerodrome. We will kind of lag towards the back end, maybe bring up the caboose tonight in our Cessna 170 before we do the Skyline route and fly up the Hudson. So thank you very much. Upstate is indeed a baller for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Traffic, this is November 3800, Mike, taking off runway 18.
Do always enjoy the random raids. I actually do some random raids of my own as well.
Bayport traffic, helicopter
so I appreciate
16
that
is over
very
the
much.
shoreline southbound at 500, Bayport.
So we're just getting started here. Again, this will be a GA
Bayport
flight
traffic,
in our
Douglas
Cessna
410,
17.
Hotel Alpha is lined up, runway 18, number 1 for departure.
If I see the Douglas lined up on 18, maybe that's a sim difference.
Bayport traffic, November 3800, Julie, Mike, clear of active runway 18.
A little bit laggy too now all of a sudden. That's not going to bode well for when we get closer to New York City, but that's something that we'll have to deal with when the time comes. Again, this is 23 November, the Bayport Aerodrome. I guess since there's a large amount of people that just showed up to the stream, we can go ahead and show exactly what we're doing. Again, not using the real world weather too fully. We are using the real temperature, pressure, and wind per the VATSIM Code of Conduct, but we have VFR things up since it is not good weather on Long Island or the Hudson Valley this evening.
Bayport traffic, Douglas 410, Hotel
Never
Alpha,
luck out with
departing
that.
runway 18, Bayport.
Never seem to luck out with that. We will depart out of the Bayport Aerodrome here. It's got its own little cutout below the Islip Long Island MacArthur Airport. We're going to fly out to the South Shore of Long Island, follow that westbound, do the Kennedy South Shoreline below 500 feet. We'll then pop up to either 1,500 feet or 2,000, whatever we are assigned. Get to the Verrazano. We will fly the New York City skyline route northbound. And then we will continue up and follow the Hudson River the rest of the way to Stewart International Airport, which was my original home airport. So that is the plan for tonight for those that are just joining. Earlier in the stream, I gave a full briefing to the Virtuous A Flying Club. If you're curious what I keep saying about the Virtuous A Flying Club, if you're new to the stream, new to the channel, don't know what the Virtuous A Flying Club is.
That was broken, Mike.
If you are a VATSIM member and you enjoy general aviation flying, then you should join the Virtuous A Flying Club. Come join us for events like this. We do about 4 to 6 events every month, all general aviation related, no airlines whatsoever. Again, you do have to be a VATSIM member to join. That's basically the only stipulation. You do have to be a VATSIM member in good standing, but hold on one second here. Hey guys, again, make sure that you are calling New York approach on 134.55, 134.55 to pick up the flight following this evening to start the trip. Once you get out of Bayport, 134.55. Please make sure
Bayport
to pick
traffic,
up that,
Douglas
flight following this
410,
evening.
Hotel Alpha is crossing the shore outbound. Last call, Bayport.
VATSIM is the Virtual Air Traffic Simulation Network. Really, you're going to have to look just at the website itself to kind of get an idea. Essentially, it is a network of pilots and air traffic controllers. Again, all sim pilots. Air traffic controllers are, again, all just guys like myself, just sim pilots that do ATC on the network. It's basically a combination of servers that allow people to connect so that you can have all the sims kind of connect in, get kind of like a real-world ATC feel, things like that. VATSIM.net, look it up. It'll have a better description of kind of what it is. And that's the network that we are flying on all together right now for the Virtuous A Flying Club event. Do very light jets count? You're going to have a very hard time getting a very light jet out of this strip, Arch NDA. Boozy Sheep, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Good to
Bayport
see you,
traffic,
Mr.
Cherokee, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey, Lima, Foxtrot. We're going to taxi to runway 18 on the west side, Bayport traffic.
So let's see, are we getting close to the end of the line here? We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aircraft, 7 others aside from us, other than the handful that are already in the air. So that's good. We're moving along here before we get ourselves going. How long is the strip? 2,750. 2,750 by 75 feet of turf. Pretty well maintained turf too in real life. When I went to the 60th annual Bayport fly-in in August of this past year, it was in very, very good condition. So they keep it well maintained. Smart move by Melvin after flying. I did see the Melvin crash last night in the DC-6. That was a bit of a bummer. The crash on departure out of Newark last night. So yeah, he decided to change it up and do the helo flying tonight. How do we get the flight plan if it's not too late? All right, so Dusty, again, since this is a specific Virtue Safe Flying Club event, we had a specific briefing that was entailed in all of this. But the general premise is that we're departing out of Bayport Aerodrome, flying west along the Long Island South Shoreline, then doing the New York City Skyline route northbound, following the Hudson River to Stewart Airport. That's really the bare bones of what we're doing tonight. Again, for those that are Virtue Safe Flying Club members, you would then be able to have access to the full briefing for the event. So again, if you are a VATSIM member, I am keeping an eye on the waiting room in the Discord. So right here, this is our waiting room. So if you do join the Virtue Safe Flying Club, you got to make sure to provide the required information. We need your VATSIM ID, we need your name. If you want to just use a first name and an initial instead of your full name, that's fine. And you need to pick a registration that you want to use. And this is just for the Discord. This doesn't mean you have to fly with this every time you're on the network. It's just for Discord identification purposes. But you need to put that information into the waiting room if you do join, so that way we can verify that you are a VATSIM member in good standing, and then kind of move you through to get the full access of the club. You can do it in less than 3K empty and not full tanks. Not that I tried in testing. I mean,
Bayport traffic, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Lima,
if you want to go for it, Arch, I'm not going to stop you, man.
Runway 18.
We always love the company. You know that. You might be running over all of us slower guys, but, you know. I would be curious to see if you could actually pull it off, although I'm probably going to get myself in line here and depart momentarily, so you might not be able to load up in time. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to probably start getting myself in line here pretty soon. Most of our guys are starting to take off. I think mostly just a couple of slower guys still kind of in the line right now. And then myself, I'm going to be pretty slow in the 170 tonight. Not super slow. I think I could still do maybe like 100, 110 in cruise. We'll see. Solo flight, I've only done 95 knots, but not really want to push anything and wouldn't troll you, sir. No, I mean, listen, knowing you, I know you wouldn't be trolling. I know you would be kind of doing it more for the curiosity aspect than anything, so. Sounds like an excuse to fly the Kodiak or the Beaver. Yes, those would both be very good choices for the event tonight, for sure.
November taxi from the west parking.
Pick my brain in a little. All right, I will get back to you on that,
Bayport.
Mr. Arch.
81 Zulu, this is 208 Bravo. Do you want to go ahead and go past me? Because I know that King Air can probably go much faster than this Caravan.
Yeah, I'm the King Air. I figured
We do have someone that just joined the
give you a white berth.
Here, so I'm going to take care of these guys actually real quick before I get
alright, I'm slowing down a little bit, that way
me.
we can get the spacing right.
Let me just do my little verification process off screen when the VATSIM website
Bayport traffic, Cherokee, Charlie, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Lima, Foxtrot, departing runway 18, straight out departure, Bayport traffic.
Sometimes. It is being really slow right now, thanks so much. Alright, so yes, you are good. So let me get these couple of new members in. And then we will get flying. There's one, and I gotta verify the ID.
Bayport, Experimental 55 Tango, taxi from the wind flat down to 18, Bayport.
handle those guys. I swear I'm not trying to ignore chat, but let me just handle these guys real quick, and then we will get them moving right along here. Dusty, if you're still in the stream chat here, you're going to need to give me a N registration that you want for the Discord, just for Discord purposes.
Bayport traffic, Cherokee, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima. Foxtrot is crossing the shoreline, departing southbound. Bayport traffic. Last call.
Get started here while Justin works on what registration he wants. Let's go ahead and, well, let's see, where are we at with some of these departures? Oh, there's still a pretty decent line of guys, so we can hang tight here for just another second while these guys kind of move off here. Go ahead and give you guys the outside view in the meantime. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and Alright, Dusty, you should be in the Flying Club. So welcome to those 2 new members that just joined from off the stream. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Purchase a Flying Club.
Bayport traffic, dial 129 Alpha Papa at the wind.
And so if you guys go to the events channel, you can go and find the actual briefing to this. Or if you just go to the temporary channel for attendance, there is a briefing link right here. It pulls up a Google Doc. This is the briefing for the event. It'll give you pretty much all the information that you are going to need for tonight's event if you want to pull that up and then join us. There's a map, there's a description, gives you you do need some scenery downloads for Bayport, so that might be the first step, is actually going and downloading the scenery for Bayport that we have created for the different sims. That would definitely be a good first step, but you guys kind of get the idea from there. I'm going to go ahead and release the parking brake and get myself into a line. Get myself ready to be in line here.
Bayport traffic, Comanche 8223 November, lining up 18. We'll hold for departing traffic. Bayport.
Not hit any of the trees by accident, and we'll... Why am I... Oh, it's hooking to this tree. Let's slew real quick. As much as I hate slewing, it was hooking onto that tree even though the tree wasn't there. So that's very much a simism right there, chat. Can you raise or lower the external cam? I mean, I can move it around kind of like this with my mouse. Give you kind of a... Someone made this livery, I think it was Eric Flight on Twitch, made this livery custom for me for the 170 with my logo and the Virtuous A Flying Club logo on there. Very nice and clean. Yeah, I'm using my mouse and the scroll wheel to kind of zoom in and out, and then using a right click to kind of drag and just drag the screen around. Hopefully that answers your question. We had a few other pilots connect, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Bayport traffic, Comanche 23 November, departing runway 18.
14.
Be a straight out departure.
Okay.
Bayport.
It's not bad. Getting closer to the 20 I was hoping for. Apollo 2-1, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in today. Watch this guy depart here.
Bayport traffic. Someone at the threshold in a 208 or a helicopter, what is that?
It's actually should be a 170, but you can go ahead of me. I'm waiting on this side here, the west side, for you guys to go over there on that side.
Oh, okay, you're floating up in the air there a little bit. All right, so Experimental 5 by Tango lining up.
Be right back, chat. Maybe we get a little more apple juice. Yeah, Arch is blaming you for something, Good Fixins. I don't know what it is. Apparently I'm going to have to talk with him later about that. Oh,
Bayport traffic, Comanche 22 November over the shoreline, departing the area to the south and then west. Last call, Bayport. And Bayport traffic, Experimental 5 Papa Tango, departing 18 below 500, below 700 out to the shoreline. Bayport.
That aircraft on that side, you can go ahead as well.
Bayport traffic, Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa lining up runway 18, Bayport.
We'll go after this guy. Maybe he found out you used to fly Embraers, but I didn't tell him. Oh, I did used to fly Embraers. I don't remember much about them. I memory dumped a lot about the Embraers when I got typed on the Airbus, because I only need to focus on one plate at a time. So I memory dumped a lot about the 175. So, I mean, you can try and pick my brain, but I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to remember and tell you, to be quite honest with you. I have the flight plan on SkyVector. How do you get it into the airplane from there? You don't. This is, we doing this hand flying, or at least I'm hand flying, but I don't know how to do that whole getting the flight plan in from SkyVector imported to the sim. I have no idea. A lot of the times when we do these club events, it's a lot of hand flying or just kind of, you know, winging it. Wait for our friend here to depart. Once he departs, we'll give him about 1.5 minutes, and then we will depart, and we will start our journey this evening up to Stewart
Bayport
via
traffic, Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa taking runway 18, straight out departure at Bayport.
So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Bayport Aerodrome, there are special instructions for getting in and out, but the departure off of runway 18 is probably the easiest part about Bayport. You literally just fly on runway heading below 700 feet until you get to that inner shoreline. And then once you get to the inner shoreline, you can go above the 700 feet. You go above 700 feet before the shoreline, then you will be busting the ISO class Charlie. So we got to be careful. I'm going to be very careful about my altitude to make sure I do not go above 700 feet on this departure until we make it out to the inner shoreline. So about 1.5 minutes, we're going to this aircraft in front of us about 1.5 minutes before we then depart behind him. See, Arch has a better idea of how you can then import it to your airplane, Dusty, from SkyVector. So you're gonna have to follow his steps. I don't know how to do any of that, so. We're just gonna give a couple minutes here, and then we will make our way down the runway and begin our journey.
Bayport traffic, Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa departing the area to the south, Bayport.
Winging it sounds fun. Sounds good, Dusty. Yeah, so we do all of our events on the VATSIM network. That is the one thing with the Virtuous Flying Club. You do have to be a VATSIM member. All of our events are on the VATSIM network. do about 4 to 6 events a month, so if you can't make it tonight, that's no problem. We've got plenty of events coming up beginning in February. We have 5 events, I think, in February, all with each their own little bit of GA flair. Let's go ahead and get cracking, chat. Bayport traffic, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, departing runway 18, Bayport. Take much to get this little Cessna off the ground.
Fire Island, head
up
west.
And away, we will fly runway heading to the inner shoreline, and we will stay below 700 feet.
Bayport traffic, Twin Otter, lining up 111.
I'm going to be doing the cheatsy doodle way of tuning my comms by doing the .com 1 and then changing the frequency. So .com 1 134.55 is going to be the approach frequency we pick up our flight following with once we get over the water here. Bayport traffic says the 124 Mike Charlie's over the inner shoreline. Bayport traffic.
Bayport traffic, Twin Otter, 34.
So we are over the inner shoreline now, so we can go above 700 feet. We're not going to go that high to start. We're just really going to go up to 1,000 feet to the outer shoreline here before then flying westbound.
Taking the northbound Skyline route.
November 965, Papa Tango, the altimeter number 3033, proceed on course.
5 Papa Tango.
321 Bravo Whiskey, contact approach 128.12. 128.12, thank you very much to the ATC. Have a good night. See you. Good night.
Jersey Aviator, thank you for the $20 tip, Joseph. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Here, approach Cessna 124 Mike Charlie.
That's 124 Mike Charlie, here, approach 0320.
0320 for Mike Charlie.
For Mike Charlie, radar contact 6 miles south of the Icefield Airport. The aircraft type and request.
Cessna 124 Mike Charlie is a Cessna 170. Would like to follow the Long Island shoreline westbound. Go below Kennedy, out below 500, and then join the New York City skyline route northbound.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, the Icefield number 3033. Proceed on course.
On course for Mike Charlie, thank you.
Clear approach Dallas 129 Alpha Papa.
Got 129 Alpha Papa, near approach squawk 0367.
0367 for 129 Alpha Papa.
Hey Jeffrey, would it help if I did a loop around the Statue of Liberty to let you guys get out in front of me?
Operator contact 5 miles. You can't be clear. And you can sign off there.
Alright, roger that.
Yeah, later got caught up with his live stuff today. It's all good. It's all good, Jersey Aviator. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the $20 tip.
Got 129 Alpha Papa running.
Very, very generous of you. Thank you.
We're about $1.50.
3033 for 129 Alpha Papa.
Yeah, I mean, you're pedaling a little faster.
8223 November, contact first.
See if I can get this thing trimmed out.
Alright, sounds good.
2812.
Go to about 2,500 RPM. And I'm going to see if I can get it trimmed out nice to hold about 1,000 feet. As we follow the shore.
That's the 124 Mike Charlie traffic. 3 o'clock a mile, turning westbound, case 1,100, type unknown.
Looking for traffic for Mike Charlie. The traffic is faster than me, Chad. I can kind of see him, so we're going to go ahead and give him a little bit of space. on VATSIM. That's really probably still the biggest drawback to Microsoft Flight Sim on the VATSIM network, is the ability to see up close traffic, like within a mile, 2 miles, especially in conditions like this, without being able to see the lights. Something that I wish they would still kind of hopefully fix down the line, but it's not something that has happened yet. So I should, in theory, probably, this guy's right off my wing, maybe like a couple hundred feet higher than me. I should, in theory, be able to see him. Maybe if I go outside, I'll be able to hit a closer one. But no, I'm not seeing him anywhere, and he should not be that far from me. So again, tough to see aircraft on the network sometimes on Microsoft Flight Sim, especially doing this GA stuff. That's where it really can be a factor. Doing sometimes the events that we do like this, it can be a little bit tricky at times. Oh, there, I just sort of kind of making it out now, actually, just like a couple pixels off of my right wing there, and I'm getting drifted out to sea a little bit. So I'll turn a second. You can kind of see his light flashing now. Traffic in sight for my Sean.
Thank you.
Just a flashing pixel out in the distance, but I know he's on the shoreline, so I'll give him the space out here. He appears to be much faster than me, so I'm not going to...
Nice having Tommy in front of me so I know what frequencies to pre-tune.
128.12, Papa Tango.
Steve, make sure you pick up flight following from 134.55.
Sure, center, Twin Otter 3499 Mike.
Number 3499 Mike, near Express Walk 0301.
0301, Mike.
And you can go ahead and pass me, Steve, because you're going to be probably a touch faster than me, maybe, and you're right up on me here.
99 Mike, radar contact 5 miles. Capture grid say or what?
9 Mike 5 river visual northbound.
99 Mike, yeah, it's about 3033, proceed on course. Just be aware you will have to descend below the Bravo airspace, which is about 7 miles ahead of you.
9 Mike looking for after this.
99 Mike, there is also traffic at your 9 o'clock mile, same direction, 1002 straight station, 170 to show us.
9 Mike.
For 129er Alpha Papa, contact approach 128.12. Good night.
128.12. Thanks for the service. Have a great evening.
That's
for 9 Alpha Papa.
Probably going to be our next frequency, Chet, is 2812. I think he's going to be probably the next guy we talk to here for this flight phone. And again, I'm going to be doing the cheatsy doodle way of plugging in the comms here, so I'm going to get the 128.125 ready to go. A bit of cheatsy doodle. It's hard for me to reach down and look down and scroll that freaking wheel for the comment here. So we use all available resources.
Number 99 Mike, contact approach now 128.12. Good night.
128.12, 9 Mike.
Trying to see if we can find him again. We did have him in sight originally. He should be kind of passing us at this point. I also think he's probably, yeah, he's above us. He's higher than us. There he is up there. Got him. Actually somehow managing to do like a $130 in this thing. I didn't think I would be going as fast as a cruise in this thing.
Are you the last Mike?
No, I think there actually is still a couple that are just spawning up on the ground a little bit late if you want to hang tight for a minute or two.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like there's 2 on the ground that I can see.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. They're a little late stragglers if you want to hang out for them.
Yeah, no worries. First one looks like they're about 7 miles from Stewart.
Nice.
But it's also a King Air that would do it over 200 knots.
Of course.
Give you one guess as to who it was.
I already know.
Yep. Mr. didn't call me for flight following until he's over the line with Cameron.
It's always the NY or TCC guys that somehow don't know the NY or TCC airspace.
Hey, don't lump all of us in with him.
That's our good buddy Brian on frequency here, chat. One of our
124 Mike Charlie, Conic approach now 128.12, guys.
128.12. Thanks for coming in today.
I'll thank you for coming in today.
Your approach, good evening. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, VFR at 1000.
Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, New York approach, Kennedy altimeter 3034, remain outside the class Bravo airspace for now.
Remain outside class Bravo for Mike Charlie. No, we actually are below the 1500 at the Bravo, 1000 feet here. We were good at the south shoreline near the, what is this, Captree area, so we're good. We'll have to go at or below 500 for south shoreline Kennedy, but at 1000 feet we're good. We're below the Bravo, so we're clear of the Bravo.
And number 4 Mike Charlie, traffic at your 11 o'clock, 4 miles, same direction, Cessna 132 1000.
Looking for traffic for Mike Charlie. Got a good view of the South Shore of Long Island here. Probably cold and covered in a little bit of snow. Maybe not after today though, because I think it was mostly like rain today and on Long Island. So it might not actually be much more snow on the beach still at all. A Baron would work. Yes, it would. Dusty 2203, a Baron would work for the type of event we're doing this evening. Departing out of Bayport, probably fine. It might be a little bit tight getting a
November
Baron in
3499 Mike, contact Kennedy Tower 119.1 see you. 119.1.
So that's going to be our next frequency. So we will again do the cheatsy doodle way, get that ready to go. Not 199, but 119.100. Have that ready to go. And that traffic is pulled well ahead of us now since we are a slower beast. So we shouldn't have to be worried about that traffic anymore. I think we'll have a hard time catching up to anyone in front of us. We are low and slow. Once again, if you just joined the stream, you weren't here at the start, my name is Mike. It's my 32nd birthday today. This is a virtually safe flying club event. I have some of my club members joining me for my birthday to do this event. Of course, I'm also a controller at NYARTCC on VATSIM, so I've got my friends there helping us out with the ATC. Nice little combination event, just to have a little something to do.
November 124 Mike Charlie, contact Kennedy Tower 119.1. Happy birthday, Mike.
19-1 for Mike Charlie. Thanks for coming today.
See you later.
And we're doing this little group flight from the Bayport Aerodrome up to what used to be my home airport of Stewart International Airport. Thank you everyone in the chat for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you. Gabe Hernandez, thanks for coming in today. Kennedy Tower, good evening. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie's VFR at 1000, like the transition, the airspace westbound on the South Shore.
Birthday boy 124 Mike Charlie, Kennedy Tower, Kennedy altimeter 3034, clear the Bravo airspace. Alpha Bravo maintain VFR at 500, westbound.
Alright, we'll do outer below 500, transition westbound for Cessna 4 Mike Charlie. And you're coming in just a little quiet.
Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at 1000 and following really westbound. That traffic is now your 2 to 3 o'clock westbound Skyhawk at 300.
And I'm like descending to 1000, keeping our eye out.
Tower controllers.
Charlie Foxtrot with Key Lima. Charlie Foxtrot with Key Lima. Foxtrot, contact Newark Tower 18.3.
Over to Newark Tower 118. For Charlie Foxtrot with Feeling and Foxtrot.
Send on down here to 500 feet for our transition westbound.
November 822, November, you got
Kitty Monster, thanks for coming
right side of site and traffic exit 1.
Oh, you were here actually. But you're back. Welcome back.
Traffic in sight.
Always good to have you.
Bookcase at site 23 November.
Thank you.
So again, we're descending to go at or below 500 feet along the south shoreline here.
3499 Mike, that traffic, no factor, and maintain 500.
9 Mike down to 500 feet.
Gonna get a little laggy probably here and there now that we're coming closer to the city and Kennedy and all the cluster that is
Let them know that you have traffic for
New York City.
Alright, we'll head over to New York Tower. Newark Tower on 118.3.
As you can see,
Have a good night.
kind of the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Not much I can do about it. Nice and low.
Kennedy Tower, Skyhawk 129, Alpha Papa, level 400.
129 Alpha Papa, Kennedy Tower. Clear after Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at 500, following Bravo, following from westbound, Kennedy Alpha 0303.
Maintain 500 within the Kennedy class Bravo for 129
129 Alpha Papa, traffic, 1 o'clock in 3 miles, same direction. 300 feet, DHC2.
I believe we have that traffic in sight for 129 Alpha Papa.
9 Alpha Papa, thank you. Number 8223 November.
Good Fixins, are you still in the chat?
Roger, we'll contact Newark Tower and let them know. Comanche 8223 November, thanks. Take care.
Good Fixins, you still in the chat, my friend?
5 Echo, confirming up the traffic at 11 o'clock on the site.
Over
7875 Echo, contact Newark Tower.
Or November 8033 Fox, are you still in the team, or not the team speaker, are you still in the chat? Need one of my Virtuous A Flying Club admin. If any one of you guys are listening to, there's a couple of names in the waiting room. If you could go ahead and take care of those guys while I'm hand flying here. If you don't mind, Michael, if you're able to go clear those members that are waiting in the waiting room for me. Thank you very much. As you see, I already gained 100 feet when I wasn't supposed to. I gotta get back down to my 500 feet now. It's tough doing this hand flying, so I'm gonna need someone to take care of the waiting room for me here tonight. South shoreline, south of Kennedy. You can see Kennedy Airport kind of coming into view here a little bit. The city skylines will start showing up here soon. You're going to notice the sim start to really lag when that happens, so just going to have to bear with me on that one. This computer's old. I've got like a almost 4.5-year-old computer, so it's starting to show its age a little bit. I have like 2070 Super starting to show its age a little bit. Is it 500 feet the whole way? No, we're doing, you have to remain below 700 for the departure out of Bayport. I went 1,000 along the Long Island South Shore line. It's 500 feet or below for the transition below Kennedy, like where we are right now, South Shore line along the Kennedy class Bravo. It's at or below 500. And then it's going to be
always fun flying this transition, isn't it, guys?
Or 2,000 feet. Whatever is assigned by ATC for the skyline route, and at that point then you can probably maintain the 1,500, 2,000 feet going the rest of the way to Stewart.
The guys say, holy crap, that was moving fast.
Number 965 Papa Tango, we got traffic 12 o'clock in a mile, turning northbound at
I have that traffic in sight. 5 Papa Tango.
5 Papa Tango, contact your tower. That's how you got the traffic in sight. That's right.
So it sounds like 118.3 is going to be our next frequency. So we're going to get that ready to go in our standby. Again, doing the cheatsy doodle way tonight. really starting to see the Kennedy Airport coming to view now, chat. Runway right there, terminals, all that starting to come into view now as we continue on our South Shoreline excursion here.
Mike is looking.
See the beacon flash.
Copy that, thank you.
I don't know why we're seeing the beacon flash inside the airplane, but that's whatever. Simism. Really get a good view of Kennedy now. See the tower and everything. Done this, not only have I done the Skyline route a bunch of times, but I've done this Kennedy South Shoreline at or below 500 feet a bunch of times as well in real life. Back in my Farmingdale days. So, quite familiar, seen it all for real. Quite a fun experience. Very good visuals, very good time.
And Mike, we're still looking.
Mike, contact New York Tower 118.3 and let me know
118.3, not Mike, thanks.
You live in Farmingdale, Maine. Yeah, we're talking about Farmingdale, New York. That's where I did all my flight training out of Republic Airport, Kilo Foxtrot, Romeo Golf.
Newark Tower on 118.3. Thanks for the service. Have a great evening from Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa.
Thank you. Birthday boy 124 Mike Charlie, make a left 360.
Alright, we'll make a left 360 for 4 Mike Charlie. Trying to get me spaced out from the guy in front of me, or if he's messing with me, but I'll take the left 360. A slight pitch of left rudder here. Balance the airplane out. Public Airport is where the P-47 was built during World War II. For those who don't know, there is a small museum there now. There sure is. 31st, thanks for coming in today. Thank you for the history nugget. That was not the only airplane that they built at Republic during the war, I believe. There were a few others, if I remember correctly. Now I think he was messing with the jet. But we oblige. Fairchild, that's correct. See, I couldn't remember the name, but I knew there was something. Yeah, I've been to that museum a handful of times when I used to go to, because I went to Farmingdale State College. That's where I did all my flight training out of the college there. Did all my flight training out of Republic. Got a 4-year degree, flight instructed there for a year, and then moved on into charter flying for a couple years, and then to the airlines to get to where I am now, flying the A320. I have had it very easy. My aviation career has gone very, very well. Not like the guys that had to go through like 9/11 or the recession in 2008. You know, I fly with those captains all the time. They're still very salty about that. I don't blame them. It's a tough time. I have been very, very lucky with the progression that I've had in my aviation career. And at this point, I do believe I'm at my final stop. I don't have any intention
paying attention, looked down at my thing, and I was like, oh!
Very much enjoying flying the Airbus. You can see what used to be Floyd Bennett. V1 rotates. I flew the Beechjet Hawker 400 and the Citation CJ3 for a company that was based out of Pittsburgh. That was the two corporate aircraft that I flew during my charter days. I would say I spent probably about 85% of the time on the Beechjet and only about 15% of the time on the CJ3.
124 Mike Charlie, contact your tower, 8.3, have a good night.
118.3, thanks for coming in today, 4 Mike Charlie, good night. Hawker's electrical system was an absolute nightmare. There was a lot of things that were, you could tell were definitely an afterthought on that Beechjet.
Traffic is a THC2.
That's about as far as I'll go with that thing. It was fun to fly though. Did not hate it.
I have that traffic in sight, 5 Papa Tango.
5 Papa Tango, maintain visual separation from traffic.
I'm technically supposed to go all the way to the end of the shore here.
909 Mike, do you have that traffic in sight?
Negative, man. Mike, we're still looking, can't find him.
Okay, 99 Mike, contact the boarding tower 18.7.
18.7, 9.
Newark Tower, good evening. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, VFR 500.
Number 5 Papa Tango, contact the boarding tower 18.7.
118.7, 5 Papa Tango.
Number 7 Papa Tango, contact the boarding tower 18.7. Somebody called, but I ignored.
It's Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, VFR 500.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, North Tower, North Altimeter, trade 029. Happy birthday, say request.
Would like to do the Skyline route northbound at 1500, please, for 4 Mike Charlie. Thank you.
Number 4 Mike Charlie, Roger, direct to Arizona, Center northbound, cleared under Bravo airspace, maintain VFR 1500.
Direct to Arizona, cleared in the Bravo 1500, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie.
United 36, runway 22 right at Whiskey, quick takeoff.
These NYARTCC friends that we have, they are on their game, always on their game. We appreciate them for providing the ATC for the Virtue Safe Flying Club this evening for tonight's event.
Nice donuts, Tommy.
We're gonna climb this thing up to 1500.
Man, the Stewart Airport bus bus is pretty well done for default.
It's one of the ones they handcrafted.
It's pretty good.
1,500 feet direct to the Verrazano. We'll join the river. We will fly on the east side of the river, going northbound, which is the appropriate way to do the skyline. Got the trim where I want it just yet on this thing. We'll see if we can get it trimmed out a little better now. Now we'll probably be at 1,500 feet for more or less the rest of the flight going to Stewart. That's a tolerable amount. I can kind of work it from here. I'll make small adjustments as necessary.
Gordian Tower, 118.7 for 129 Alpha Papa. Thanks for the service. Have a great night.
Very well done Verrazano Bridge for MSFS. That's something that they still need to fix.
United 36, continue departure.
Over to departure,
You can see the Statue of Liberty starting to come out, and then when we make this turn, there's the city. So that's going to come into view quite nicely. They got to work on Verrazano Bridge here. There was a scenery for it, but when I tried to install it, it was corrupt, and I couldn't get it to work. So it's unfortunately I have a default Verrazano. I think I have a scenery for the George Washington that works pretty well, as well as the Tappan Zee. I also think I have one that works for the Tappan Zee. Should be installed, but we'll find out, I guess, when we get up there. So there's New York City in all its glory. You can see the statue, Lady Liberty. Statue of Liberty to our left. We're going to hang the east side here. You can see Governor's Island. And East River. And, of course, New York City. Got uncle and aunt lived on Governor's Island shortly after World War II. That's awesome. I actually have not yet been to Governor's Island. I have been to Liberty Island, Ellis Island, Roosevelt Island, but I actually have not been to Governor's Island yet. That's something that I still have to check a box for. And I mean, I've never lived in New York City. I am a tourist every time I go to New York City. Excuse me, even though I live in the Hudson Valley, so not very far. But I'm a tourist every time I go to New York City. Oh, I believe it. I'm sure their view was phenomenal. I'm going to also wager to guess that they did not have to pay as much as you would now to have that kind of view back in the World War II, after World War II days. Probably a little bit cheaper. Even with the money conversion from now to then, it probably was still relatively cheaper in that time than it is now. Lived in New York City for 20 years and never been to Governor's Island. Well, that's a choice. I'm kidding. No, I am a tourist. I mean, I lived in New York most of my life, mostly in the Hudson Valley, a little bit on Long Island as well. I did live in Pittsburgh for 2 years also, but I worked that charter gig, but I've done Governor's Island, and yeah, I'm very much...
Charlie, contact Gordian Tower, 118.7, have a good night.
118.7, thanks for coming in today. Much of the city view as I can here. LaGuardia Tower, good evening. This is Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, 1,500 feet.
124 Mike Charlie, New York, how you doing? Person LaGuardia, how you doing? I'll come to the 3030.
3030, 4 Mike Charlie.
Is that the one and only Mike out there?
How you doing?
How you doing?
All of my NYARTCC friends helping us out tonight. dipping in and out. I'm still trying to make sure I'm holding my altitude while I'm also trying to give you guys the views that I can, since it is worth looking at. So the difference between the skyline route and the SFRA is that SFRA is below 1300 skyline above, and the skyline is inside the Bravo and therefore requires clearance, while the SFRA does not. Am I roughly correct about that? You are roughly correct about that. That is correct, yes. So you have to do... You're on a CTEF frequency below 1300 in the exclusion zone. You have to make the position reports. When you are in the actual skyline route,
for 129 Alpha
with
Papa, we're
ATC,
showing
getting flight following, you have a
1400.
class Bravo clearance, they assign you an altitude, and you are communicating with ATC. So yeah, you're pretty much spot on. In this case tonight, obviously we are doing the skyline route with ATC, just so we can have some time talking to our friends here. Alright, I'm going to do something that's probably going to break my computer, but I'm going to try and take a screenshot, and we'll see how that goes. Yep, my computer is going to hate me. Alright, somehow it actually worked out not too bad that time. Screenshot, that's just for my own record keeping. Gotta have a nice pic with a livery and skyline there. Of course, you can see Central Park now coming into view as we go a little bit more uptown. Got the USS Intrepid, I believe, is trying to be, I think that's the Intrepid then. That's the Intrepid right there, I believe. Right here will be the USS Intrepid. Yeah, whenever there's controllers on covering the positions that cover the skyline, we love having you guys do the skyline stuff. So absolutely. Central Park. There's a wing view. That's pretty nice from the wing view too. How about that, chat? Make sure my altitude's good. Yeah, look at that. The sim is pretty good looking. They got that part right, North South Flight Sim. They got that part right.
November 2 Alpha, correction, November 9 Alpha, Papa, New York 132.75.
New York approach on 132.75 for 129 Alpha Papa. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Part of the Hudson is gorgeous, but it gets even better upstream. Yeah, it's very the Hudson Valley, and then going up even more further north, getting into the sticks. It's all very beautiful, no doubt. But little industrial revolution never hurt nobody either. Seeing the city and doing the skyline route this way, and then you got the George Washington Bridge. Yes, the scenery did work for the George Washington Bridge. That's good. Getting into uptown, closer to the Bronx. You can see LaGuardia. This is one of the runways.
For my LaGuardia.
Okay.
Hey, if you look just off the right side, you'll see the better of two baseball stadiums and teams.
Neither one of us have much we can talk about right now, at least from last season. You guys will probably be better than us this year, though, so look at me that. He is referring to Yankee Stadium, right there. I'm a Mets fan, he's a Yankees fan. In case you were curious what the banter was about. I live a cursed life as a sports fan, chat. I am a New York Mets fan, which is just a cursed franchise. Minnesota Vikings fan. Also more or less a cursed franchise. New Jersey Devils. They at least won me some championships when I was a kid. Certainly nothing as an adult. And the New York Red Bull for Major League Soccer. I know there's probably only about like 3 people in this entire chat that even know what soccer is, but that's also more or less a cursed franchise. So I made a lot of poor choices as a kid. Let's put it that way. Except for the Devils. The Devils were winners when I was a kid. They haven't won anything with me as an adult. They were supposed to be good this year. They have a lot of injuries. Again, we're not going to go down this road. It's tough being a fan. It's tough being a fan sometimes. Start to see the Alpine Tower right here. So this is the Alpine Tower, and you can also see the Tappan Zee Bridge coming up in the distance as well. So those sceneries work, which is good. The only one that didn't ever work was the Verrazano Bridge, which is annoying. But we're just going to keep following the Hudson now up northbound the rest of the way to Stewart. Also, it will always only ever be referred to as the Tappan Zee Bridge. They renamed it, but we're never going to use that name that they renamed it. It is the Tappan Zee Bridge. Favorite soccer team in Germany has won a title in the 50s and they even relegated. Which team is that in the Bundesliga? I kind of, just by default, since I'm a New York Red Bull fan, I kind of loosely follow Red Bull Leipzig in Germany there. Die Rotten Bowling. I know Shackle. Or Sheckle. To be honest, I don't know how to. I'm gonna mispronounce all of these names, and I apologize. That's how you can tell that I'm an American snob. That team has an affiliation with a USL team in the United States called the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, actually. And when I lived in Pittsburgh for 2 years, I used to go to some of those Pittsburgh Riverhound games.
1698 Papa, New York, Crystal Guardia 73032.
Gabe, we're not having this conversation. It's the Tappan Zee Bridge, and if you call it something else, you're wrong. You're wrong. Red Sox. I mean, I'm not a Yankees fan, so I don't hate the Red Sox as much as other people would, but Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. I made these choices. I am loyal to a fault. I will never change teams, no matter how much misery they give me. It is what it is. Now we're starting to get to the more beautiful parts of the Hudson Valley as we wave goodbye to New York City. You and me both, Kenny Monster, but here we are. Actually doing a pretty good job of maintaining altitude, better than I thought I would in this airplane tonight. Especially because I have a little bit of apple juice in hand. So here is the Tappan Zee Bridge, chat. This is the Tappan Zee Bridge. It is known by no other name. I don't care what is on the signs. I don't care what some former governor decided to do with it. It is the Tappan Zee Bridge.
By Charlie, New York 13275. Happy birthday, good day.
13275 for Mike Charlie. Thanks for coming in today. Don't forget to mark yourself for attendance.
I'll try.
Roger.
November 909 Mike, runway 27, clear to land, wind calm.
9 Mike, runway 27, clear to land.
And approach is Turkey, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot for about 8 miles southeast with hotel, we'll stop at.
Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, roger. Traffic about
Yes, hotel.
2 o'clock, less than a mile.
Which we don't care about because we're not using the full real weather because it's... At the end of the stream, I'm going to go to real weather and you'll see why we had to manually manipulate the sim for this event tonight.
We're looking for the traffic, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot.
Near approach, good evening. Thanks for coming in today. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, 1,500 VFR north on the river.
Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, thank you for coming in today. The altimeter 3030.
3030.
And for Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, that 172 is now about 2, almost 3 o'clock. I have him in sight.
Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, roger. Follow that Skyhawk. Enter left base, runway 27.
Okay, we'll follow that Skyhawk and we'll enter a left base for 27, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot.
965 Papa Tango, traffic at your 12 o'clock. 3 miles of the Cherokee, report to site.
I have that traffic inside, Papa Tango.
Papa Tango, roger. Follow that traffic into left base, runway 27.
Left base for 27, Papa Tango.
Papa Tango, confirm follow the traffic.
Follow that traffic inside, Papa Tango.
So we don't have a specific Stewart Tower, so New York approach, this Catskill sector is covering the tower approach, so he's busy man.
Southbound on the river, Wilsondale, stay north of runway 27, extended down. 973, roger, thank you.
New York approach, Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa 15 southeast, Stewart, we'd like to take off landing.
Number 129 Alpha Papa, New York approach, roger. Traffic at your 12 o'clock, approximately 2 miles. At 1,400
Wouldn't even see the skyline in real weather tonight? Yeah, not a chance. And again, I'm going to show the real weather at the end, just to kind of show you why we've manipulated the weather.
Papa, roger, follow that traffic.
There's not a chance we would have seen anything tonight. There's no way we would have got off the
ground. Left base for runway 27 for 129 Alpha Papa.
Number 8223 November. Runway 27 clear land, wind calm.
Clear to land 27. Runway 8223 November.
321 Bravo Whiskey, welcome. Taxi via Alpha 6 Alpha Charlie to the ramp.
Everyone say hi, Sarah.
Number 6298 Papa, New York approach, altimeter 3030.
3030, and then Air Papa.
November 965 Papa Tango.
Thank you.
Traffic at your 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, approximately 5 miles at 1,400.
Flying Microsoft flights and exclusively with live weather ground for the third day. Yeah, it's just
Cherokee, report to site.
It's winter.
Have that traffic inside, Papa Tango.
Papa Tango, roger. Follow that
like
traffic into left base, runway 27.
We'll follow that traffic for left base 27, Papa Tango.
Number 423 Charlie Lima, traffic on the rollout is a Cherokee, wind calm, runway 27, clear to land. Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, you still following that 172?
I'm doing my best, I've got him in sight.
Yeah, no worries, thank you, just want to make sure. Interstate 01 Papa, say your next, intention.
Interstate 01 Papa, would like to divert 2 feet around.
Interstate 01 Papa, roger, climb, maintain 4,000, I'll have your clearance shortly.
4,000, 81 Papa.
November 7875 Echo. Let's see. Here, approach Roger. You can enter left base, runway 27. November 423 Charlie Lima. Sorry, actually I can use mine. Over here, right? Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot. You're following the 172. Windcom, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land behind the 172, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot.
Stuart Comanche at 223 November, clear 27. And Stuart, 5 Papa Tango, it's getting a little tight right here, and I need to do a 360.
5 Papa Tango, Roger, make a right 360.
Right 360 for space and 5 Papa Tango.
Getting a little tight up, Stuart. All of us are coming in all at the same time here, Chad. Yeah, our controllers will
Comanche
work.
at 223 November, off 27 at Alpha 6.
223 November, welcome, taxi Alpha Charlie to the ramp.
Alpha Charlie to ramp, thanks so much, have a great night.
Valiant 73, looking to return to Stewart, on go. Valiant 73, Roger. Proceed direct to Stewart and make sure to the GA ramp. Remain north of the runway 27 at all times. Caution multiple aircraft on the final for 27. Proceed direct to Stewart. Remain north of 27 all times. Landing at the ramp are on the risk. Valiant 73.
Okay, cut the corner here a little bit on the river. A little bit of a lower land here.
Clear state 01 Papa, you're clear to the Teterboro Airport via radar vectors. Climb maintain 5,000.
Go to Teterboro Airport by radar vectors, climb maintain 5,000, 01 Papa.
Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot, welcome, taxi Alpha 6, Alpha to the, Charlie 6, Alpha 6, Charlie, Alpha 6, Alpha Charlie to the ramp, geez.
Alpha 6, Alpha to the ramp for Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Foxtrot.
November 965 Papa Tango, Windcom, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land, 27, Papa Tango.
You gonna be working there in the FNO? No, I'm going to be, I'm not working the FNO. I'm going to be working Kenny Monster. I start my next trip on Friday morning.
Pop. Did I get the readback from you there? I don't think I did.
You did.
I will be flying
radar vectors
out and back to Montego Bay.
Okay, thank you.
And then on Saturday I'm going to be flying to LA for a long overnight and then flying back to Red Eye Monday night into Tuesday morning from LA. I guess that would be Sunday into Monday, excuse me. Yeah, so Sunday into Monday, flying to Red Eye back from
And
LA.
Whiskey Lima Foxtrot is having
yeah, I will not be around for the FNO. I will be
go ahead and disconnect them on your way.
Yeah, that LA flight can be a little long.
November 785 Echo, traffic just about over the numbers is a RV-10, reporting site. 975 Echo, all that traffic, runway 27 clear to land, Windcom.
First trip in a while since I finally finished with the jury duty. So in the last couple weeks I was on a jury for a civil case, and it was like, so it was some nursing home negligence case, and long story short, the family probably not super happy with the outcome. They were looking for $3 million. We ended up awarding them $400,000. Their case wasn't very good. So I served my time as a juror on the jury for 2 weeks, and we came to that conclusion. And like I said, they got something, but it's probably not what they were looking for. Probably just going to be barely enough to cover their legal fees for going all the way to trial, but they did not have a very strong case. So gave them what they were due in terms of the law, but that was about as far as we could go.
Clear from Stewart.
And it's tough because you have to take emotion out of it and all that. You have to be an impartial juror. As a human, that's a tough thing to do, but I was lucky that the 5 other jurors that I was with were all very good.
965 Papa Tango, welcome. Contact Tower just came online.
Like I said, at the end of the day, we made the absolute right choice based on the evidence. It just sucks for the family that they had to go through all this and get nowhere near what they were hoping for. So it's just kind of the way it is.
And you approach 129 Alpha Papa, can switch over to Stewart Tower.
129 Alpha Papa, yeah, I was about to say, contact Stewart Tower 121.0.
Oh, Stewart Tower has come alive.
Have a good night.
Just at the tail end here, get a little Stewart Tower. So 121.0.
0601 Papa, fly heading 220.
220, 01 Papa.
Yeah, I would have much rather have been flying my trips that I was supposed to fly instead of doing that jury duty, to be quite honest with you. After the fact, it's cool that I got to say that I did it. I don't particularly have any interest in ever doing it again.
Valiant 73, contact Stewart Tower 121.0.
But I am looking forward to getting back to flying on Friday for my next trip. Steve PHL, thank you for coming in today. It's alright, you know what you're doing, so I knew you were going to fly it just fine, even without having been at the verbal briefing. Make sure you put yourself down on the attendance channel, my friend, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Just make sure you mark yourself for attendance once you get down on the ground. Did I hear correctly that Stewart Tower has come online?
Stewart Tower has come online. Comanche 124 Mike, sorry, Cessna 124 Mike Charlie. I was about to give it to you. Contact Stewart Tower 121.0.
21-0. Thanks for coming in today, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in today and happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Valiant 72, say again.
So here's West Point.
Valiant 73, looking to depart. This time we'll be southbound along the river. We're going to work low level.
We're going to avoid West Point, we'll loop around, and then we'll give Stewart Tower a call. A couple of months. West Point to Stewart, what is the mileage? Roughly 10 miles. Stewart Tower, good evening. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie, about 10 miles to the southeast. 1,500 inbound for a full stop. We have a hotel.
November 124 Mike Charlie, Trenton Tower.
It's either
Stewart
the
Tower, wind calmer 927.
zone, just on your own.
Alright, 27, clear to land. Cessna 124 Mike Charlie. And we got clearance to land all the way out here.
Valiant 73, ready for departure?
Valiant 73, affirmative.
Pick up the speed. Yeah, there really is actually nobody in front of us here. So pick the speed up and we'll truck on in for runway 27.
Skyhawk 129 Alpha Papa, clear runway.
Yeah, Kenny Monster's got a good point there. I do have Volanta running. So we're going to use Volanta for our landing rate meter. So if you guys want to put a landing rate guess into the chat, now would be a good time to do so. You do not need to do the exclamation point predict like Kenny Monster did. I do not have that bot. You can literally just put in a positive or negative number, what you think my landing rate is going to be according to
from the
Volanta.
ramp,
That is all
southbound
that
departure,
you need.
Valiant 73.
And again, in this chat, I know there are some people that do like giveaways and things for that stuff. This is just for pride. So if you win, you get the closest guess. Congratulations, you got the closest guess. You can have a little bit of pride knowing that you guessed the closest. So yeah, go ahead and throw in your landing rate guesses in the chat if you want to now, before we get all the way here to our landing on runway 27.
November 62908 Papa, Stewart Tower, continue approach your number 2.
Tower, Piper 5217 Delta, parked here at Control Tower. I would like to taxi over to the general aviation ramp.
Remember 124 Mike Charlie, traffic helicopter at your 10, 11 o'clock, about 3 miles.
Looking for traffic for Mike Charlie.
In Valiant 73, you got a traffic about your 10, 11 o'clock, 1,000 feet above 2 miles.
Valiant 73, roger, not in sight, we're Pennsylvania.
He's gonna be low and off our left front here. Probably gonna be hard to see since he's low.
Valiant 73, contact departure.
Probably pretty hard to see this guy. I think he's gonna be passing off.
Number 5217 Delta, Stewart Tower.
Yeah, I don't think he's not gonna be a factor, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'd like to taxi over to the general aviation ramp. We're currently parked over by the control tower.
Start turning into the final here for 27. Nobody else wants to do a landing rate guess. It looks like Kenny Monster is going to be unabated to the wind tonight.
November 5217 Delta, taxi
Still got time to get your
hotel,
landing rate
hold short
guesses in the chat. Positive or negative number does not matter. Londo's going to be the storyteller on how good or not good my landing was tonight in the Cessna 170. Which I will admit, sometimes I do struggle landing this airplane. Do not need the exclamation point predict because I do not have that bot. Gabe just says try not to die. Roger, I will try not to die. We are clear to land. Runway 27. We got the field in sight. We got the runway in sight. Helicopter traffic is no longer a factor. Plenty of our flying club buddies waiting for us on the ground. Let's try and make it a good one.
Niner 8 Papa, wind calm, runway 27, you're cleared land number 2.
27 cleared land number 2.
Now I see some guesses popping up here in the chat. We got just a little bit more time before I touch down. Last call, essentially. It was a little bit high, a little bit hot, but this thing will slow down and go down pretty quick, so I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. I can chop and drop this thing pretty aggressively when needed. This is a bush plane after all. So we're definitely not exactly doing some bush flying, but, well, we did take off out of the grass strip at Newport. Stewart, definitely not a bush airport. This is super duper long runway with a super duper long displaced threshold for runway 27 here. Coming into the glide. Getting all of our flaps in. Full flaps. Why not? Hopefully the sim won't lag right when I'm about to touch down. That would be nice.
17 Delta, cross runway 27, taxi via Alpha 7,
Yeah,
Alpha.
Little courtesy
Hold
tail
short
wheel
runway
bounce.
16.
The stall horn going.
Okay, quick cross 27.
Hawkmania says, which JetBlue flight is this? The one in your imagination, my friend. That's which one it is. Thanks for coming in today. We'll have to see what the landing rate says on that one once I exit the runway here and taxi off. Thank you for your predictions. Charlie's clear of 27, going to signature.
For Mike Charlie, taxi 3 via Alpha Charlie. Have a great day.
Alpha Charlie to the ramp, 4 Mike Charlie, thanks for coming in today. Alright, so we will make the left turn here on Alpha and then a right turn on Charlie to the ramp. That is not a taxiway anymore, that is a roadway, so we can't go that way. Volanta says minus 120 is what Volanta says. And I'll give you the proof right there. So landing minus 120 feet per minute. You can see the screen does not lie. So 120, who was the closest guess?
Hey guys, what do we do when our flight is finished?
When the flight is finished, make sure to mark yourself for attendance in the Mike's Birthday Bash channel with the appropriate information, and then you are welcome to either do more flying out or disconnect from the network.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, just make sure you mark yourself for the attendance in that channel.
Stewart Tower, good evening.
Alright, so 120, who is the closest to 120? Let's see, 104, 141, the 104 would be closer than 141, right? Would be, let's see, 21, 104
17 Delta cross runway 34, and then you
so
can
yeah, the
take
104
Charlie
wins,
to
so
the
that would be Simon Coe.
Okay, quarter class 34 and
Closest to the
Charlie to the
120
ramp,
guess,
17
so very nice guess. Pull over here to Signature. Park next to a couple of our buddies here at the FBO.
November 029er Tango Yankee, Stewart Tower. You could follow the level southbound and then join a right base for runway 27.
See, this is one of the handcrafted
River southbound, join right base 27,
airports that must assign to me, which I appreciate since it used to be my home airport. So I like the detail. I like the touch.
Charlie, Stewart Tower. Continue following the river north. Make the left base runway 27.
Park the brake, kill the mixture.
Continue to the river
north. Is going to make my flight complete. We're going to turn all the lights off, turn the avionics off, turn the batteries off, and that is it. We have made it. Alrighty, let's see. Let's go back to this flight on Volanta here. So we're going to take a look at Volanta and describe what we just did. We're going to say our thank yous. We're going to say our goodbyes. And I'm going to express again how much I appreciate you guys for being here on my birthday, my 32nd birthday. For all the flying club members that joined me, thank you. But alright, let's, like I said, we're going to go and you see me do, oh, that's right. Let me do one thing at a time. Now I'm scatterbrained here. Alright, so we took off out of our Bayport Aerodrome. We all love our Bayport Aerodrome. It is the official home of the Virtuosa Flying Club. I will get to your guys' messages and cheers and everything in a second. Thank you very much. We took off. We did the 1-8 departure, which is literally just fly the runway heading out to the inner shoreline, which we did below 700 feet. We did not bust a Charlie. Joined up over Fire Island for the south shore of Long Island. Took that all the way. We did a nice little 360 per the request of Kennedy Tower there along the south shoreline. Joined up on the Verrazano for the Skyline route northbound. Got to see the beautiful parts of New York City. Flew over the George Washington Bridge. Then we flew over, that would be the, let's see, Verrazano Bridge. These are the tunnels. This is the George Washington Bridge. Flew over the Tappan Zee Bridge. It is known by no other name except for the Tappan Zee Bridge. We're not going to have this argument in chat. And then we finished up by coming up to my old home airport of Stewart International with a fairly decent landing of minus 120 feet per minute in our Cessna 170. So I missed a couple things in the chat. Nikki Fizz, thank you for the follow. Michael Stein, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. I really appreciate it. So that's that. That's the description of the event this evening. We are safely on the ground in our beautiful livery here at Stewart International Airport with our friends. Oh, we got to show you the real world now. This is why we couldn't do live weather, chat. You ready? That's why we couldn't do live weather, because you can't see anything. The visibility is horrible. Look at that. You can barely see. Yeah, look at that. Oh, and then see, now it just kicked in with the rain. It's even worse. You can barely see anything. So that's why we had to manipulate the weather tonight for this particular flying club event. So there you go. There's your taste of real weather. It's raining. It's nasty. It would not have been possible to do what we did without manipulating the weather. So that's the reason why we did it tonight. Once again, thank you to all of my Virtuous Safe Flying Club members for joining the event this evening. I really do appreciate it. All of the NYARTCC controllers that participated, provided us the ATC tonight, I appreciate them as well. Those are all my good friends that were controlling for us tonight. If you're interested in joining us for future events at the Virtuous Safe Flying Club, the link to the Discord is pulled up right there by the Streamlabs spot. Again, you do need to be a VATSIM member to join, so if you don't have a VATSIM account, I apologize. We do all of our events on VATSIM, so you need to be a VATSIM member in good standing to be able to join our club. But if you are a VATSIM member and you enjoy general aviation flying, please join the Virtuous Safe Flying Club. We're always looking for more members. We want more people to join us for events. The more the merrier. We have great conversations there as well. There's a good handful of real-world pilots from all skill, some air traffic controller friends in there, a lot of real nice people. Made a lot of good friends in there. So please, if you're a VATSIM member and you enjoy general aviation, please join us. We'd be happy to have you as a new friend in the club. So now I get to enjoy being 32 years old, chat. Thank you for being here for the evening of my birthday. Thank you for those who followed, for cheered, the raids. I'm going to go from the start and kind of list off everyone. So we had Melvin Leroy, resubscribed for 46 months. That is a long time, my friend. Thank you. Jeffrey Bree with another resubscription for 19 months. Thank you so much. 757 Spy came in with a rate of 180. That is amazing. Thank you, 757 Spy, for that. Upstate Official came in with a 56 rate. That is awesome as well, so thank you so much. And Michael Stein, of course, for the 100 bits. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I know I do this streaming just for fun. I appreciate having people to talk to and hang out with while I do it. I also use it as a way to promote the Flying Club and all the Flying Club events. So if you like watching general aviation flight streams, this is a channel you might want to follow. If you like seeing the ATC side, I do a lot of ATC stuff for NYARTCC, whether it's minor facilities or Kennedy Tower. Soon to be Kennedy Approach. I am in training for Kennedy Approach, if you can believe it. So that will be coming once I finish the training. That should be very exciting, but that is coming down the road. I finally made the decision after 14 years to get it done. So that's something to look forward to in the future. So if you like what you saw, give the channel a follow. I appreciate the support. West364, thank you for the follow. We are going to find someone to raid now. Let me pull up my list of friends and see if anybody's streaming, and if I have a good friend streaming, then we will go and hand it off to them. Let's see, is Jeffrey still streaming? Because if Jeffrey's still streaming, then he's going to be the one. He says we will be right back. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and raid Jeffrey B then. He's going to be our choice tonight, so let's get that set up, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming in today. Have a great night. Stay safe.